The Romanov dynasty, one of the most prominent in Russian history, came to a tragic and brutal end in 1918. The dynasty was founded by Michael I in 1613, marking the beginning of a new era for Russia. With roots tracing back to the Grand Duchy of Moscow, the Romanovs became synonymous with the Russian Empire's expansion and cultural development, with its apex coming during the reign of Peter the Great and Catherine the Great. However, by the early 20th century, Russia was in a state of unrest, exacerbated by the strain of World War I, coupled with economic and social discontent. With this, Tsar Nicholas II's leadership was questioned, and the February Revolution of 1917 resulted in his abdication. The abdication led to the rise of the provisional government, but the Bolsheviks, under Vladimir Lenin, seized power in October of the same year. The Romanovs were subsequently imprisoned, and in July 1918, fearing the White Army's approach during the Russian Civil War, the Bolsheviks executed Tsar Nicholas II, his wife Alexandra, their 5 children, and a few loyal servants. The massacre marked the end of a dynasty that had ruled Russia for over 3 centuries and fueled the anti-Bolshevik sentiment during the Russian Civil War. The Bourbon dynasty, which had a significant influence on European history, faced a tragic fate during the French Revolution. The House of Bourbon, a lineage deeply rooted in European history, played a pivotal role in shaping the destiny of France. Originating in the Middle Ages, the Bourbons rose to prominence with Henri IV and reached their height during the reign of Louis XIV, whose absolutist rule left an indelible mark on the monarchy. However, by the late 18th century, the Bourbon dynasty faced an unprecedented crisis. King Louis XVI, ascending to the throne in 1774, inherited a realm burdened by financial mismanagement, a burgeoning national debt, and a deeply entrenched social hierarchy. Louis XVI's reign was marked by good intentions, but marred by indecisiveness and the weight of centuries of royal absolutism. Louis XVI's initial hesitancy to embrace constitutional reforms, driven by a desire to maintain the monarchy's traditional authority, led to increased tension. The storming of the Bastille in 1789 heralded the revolution, and the monarchy's authority crumbled. In 1792, France declared itself a republic, and Louis XVI and Marie Antoinette were arrested. The royal couple faced trial for treason and were ultimately executed by guillotine in 1793, and their son would die in captivity aged 10. Their deaths symbolized the end of the Ancien Regime and the rise of revolutionary ideals in France. The Wars of the Roses, a series of conflicts for the throne in 15th century England, unfolded against the backdrop of the long-standing rivalry between the houses of Lancaster and York. The conflict reached its apex during the reign of King Edward IV. When he died suddenly in April 1483, he was briefly succeeded by his 12-year-old son, Edward V, until his brother Richard III seized the throne for himself. Soon after, the boy and his younger brother Richard of Shrewsbury disappeared inside the Tower of London, never to be seen again. The mystery surrounding the princes in the tower has fueled speculation that they were murdered, possibly on the orders of their uncle Richard III to secure his hold on the throne. Richard III's reign ended in defeat at the Battle of Bosworth in 1485, marking the end of the Wars of the Roses and the start of the Tudor dynasty with Henry VII as the new king. The boy's mother, Queen Elizabeth Woodville, would help Henry VII cement his claim, and their older sister, Elizabeth of York, would marry to the new king. The Stuart dynasty, with its origins in medieval Scotland, became entwined with English history through the marriage of James IV of Scotland to Margaret Tudor. By the early 17th century, James I of England and VI of Scotland faced challenges due to religious tensions, with conflicts between Catholics and Protestants leading to political instability. The reign of his son, King Charles I, saw these tensions escalate, resulting in the English Civil War. Charles I's refusal to accept parliamentary demands for greater power led to his trial and execution in 1649. The execution of a reigning monarch was a watershed moment, marking the temporary end of the monarchy in England and the establishment of the Commonwealth under Oliver Cromwell. The Stuart dynasty would later be restored in 1660 under Charles II, son of Charles I.